Hey everybody, it's BATJAC J.W. It's Saturday morning. How are you guys doing? Yeah, I readjusted my table a little bit here from the last one. He goes, Joe said, man, that table makes you look about 3 feet tall. So you're right, but I kind of readjusted a little bit here. Hopefully get some better lighting and all that kind of stuff. So you got some coffee for the morning and everything. Yes, it is indeed the morning. Some good old coffee from Target. But I think 3 Wolves of 4570. I think you were drinking Kona coffee, right? I ran out of that stuff. That's okay. I can always call up some connections back in Hawaii and get some, right? But I've always been okay with Folgers or whatever. I had a funny story about Folgers. I was working years and years ago. I was working this job site, and these two carpenters they start arguing about how sense of smell cannot wake you up, and they were saying that yeah, their argument was that's why smoke detectors, that's why they make that beeping sound. Now I don't know quite how that I don't know the brass tacks on the facts on that, but that was their argument. They're going back and forth. So your sense of smell does not wake you up. You can't be woken up by your sense of smell. And then he says, no, I've been woken up by cigarette smell, smoke and all that. He's like, no, that's because that's an addiction or something. And then one guy replies, he says, so Folgers is lying. Something along those lines. So, all right. We have been doing some interesting stuff, and I have something right over here. Let me see. Oh, there it is. Okay, I had to get it. I had to grab this real quick because this is something that I wanted to add into this. Something I wanted to talk about there. Oh, put that in the bag, yeah. Mystery bag, what is that? What is BATJAC doing? Okay. Okay, we got some shout outs, so let's talk about some shout outs. We got Mr. Holster. Awesome to see Mr. Holster. I have again the same old excuse. I mean, I've got to I've nailed down the company I'm gonna go through with the internet and everything like that. So I'm still uploading this on Wi-Fi wherever I can get to it, and of course all these videos. So it's neat. My new job, obviously, I get some pretty cool stuff as far as electronic stuff goes, and I'm like, the only reason I've been biting it is like, do I wait for my discount or do I just go ahead and buy the thing? So I don't know. That's what I've been kind of doing. So I got Mr. Holster. I got the Crazy Scotsman. I got Bernard Flood. I got Mr. Rory James. Mr. Rory James, you're back with comments. I think a lot of you are watching, maybe not necessarily commenting. Come on, you got to comment so we can talk about some stuff. I got Darren Bag 6 Gun. Long live the Duke. The Gunfighter 45 ACP, my favorite caliber. The Big Al, Edward Petty, Richard Landeros, Matthew Rich Creek, JSS Haas, MP Gunther 1, Scott F, Eli Faust. And you know what, Scott? We have something for you, Scott. Okay, where were we? Bob Hartman. We got the usual, all the usual guys. It's always nice to see those guys. Hey, and PR Veteran. Where have you been, PR Veteran? A lot of these guys, I know a lot of you been here with the channel for a long time, and I really appreciate it. And it's really nice to see a lot of your names come back around. So we got 3 Wolves 4570. We already talked about that. You got your cup of Kona? Here. Got your Kona coffee? I need to get some more. Coffee, that is. All right, Joe P. All right, how you doing, Joe? I love this cup, Joe. Douglas Walther, Peppered 88, and of course, the partner in crime, Santi from the Arizona Ghost Riders. Santi, I've been doing some really neat stuff with Santi over there on the Arizona Ghost Riders and everything, so I've been busy doing some of that, and Halloween is on the move, and I can't believe, like, October's... Man, it's just coming to a close already. It's like, wait a minute, October started, now it's ending? What happened here? My favorite month, and I haven't really got to, I I did go out and buy some movies. I always look for the horror movies during October because they're always out everywhere. It's my favorite time of the month. I love October. Of course, you got the new score right here. If you haven't seen that video, go back and watch it. Come on. As of right now, not many people watched the video. Go check it out, please. It's the Colt 22. What do we have? You recognize this blue bag. So if you don't know already what's in the blue bag that we're going to show you in later here in the show, go back and watch the video. It was the last video that we're doing. So so speaking of Halloween stuff, I got some really cool movies to talk about, and I went to go see this place down here. It's in the what they call the Trail Dust Town or Pinnacle Peak. It's a steakhouse place. It's really neat because it's kind of like a little theme park, if you will, for like Western stuff, and in general, they have a live Western show there called the Pistoleros. They do a Western stunt show. It's really amazing. The guy, Jerry Woods, he's one of the guys in charge of it. I've done a couple skits now with Jerry, doing some skits for Santee and everything with those guys. We've done some minor stuff with them. Really neat. And that's another thing we're going to talk about, what's in the bag. I keep bringing up the bag. But also down at this place, the Pinnacle Peak or Trail Dust Town, whatever you want to call it, down here in Tucson, Arizona, there's a really cool place, and it's one of the, if I recall what the guy said, it's one of the only haunted houses that is all year round. So all year round, you can go celebrate Halloween, okay? And it's a really neat haunted house. It's called the Raven Hearst Family Classic Haunt, and it is open year round. It's a haunted house, and it's really neat. The guy's name is Bill, and I went to go check it out, and here's his card. I don't know. That's actually him right there. Check that out. That's him right down there, scaring the little girl. Here's the information on the back. You can pause the video. But really cool guy. When I met him, I pick up on stuff a lot of times, and when I met him, it was really neat because you can always tell when you meet somebody that they're just, you can always see that genuine guy, that guy that is just super awesome, and he was so into it. This is a guy that his heart and everything is into this stuff. He's really into it, and you can tell. It's not just your typical, thing, a goofy thing that they did. We gotta make a haunted house real quick. Put some cobwebs over there and put a little fake spider over there. Let's do that real quick. No, this is a really neat place. It's like a Victorian era like house in there, and then he's got actual artifacts of really neat things like a haunted wheelchair and things like that. So he does say nothing that he has in there is like I guess malevolent or anything like that. It's friendly stuff, but it's really neat. And he also offers a tour where they go in there and they talk about all the items that are actually in there. It's kind of neat because you ever watched a movie like The Conjuring or something, which, by the way, for a newer type horror, scary movie, The Conjuring was really awesome. I like that series, The Conjuring. The mesh of the character that they're portraying, the Warrens, between Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga is awesome. They just connect really well in that movie, and then I love how they've collected the artifacts. Now they have a book out of the Warrens and stuff. They have a book. I want to check it out because I think that will be a really awesome thing to read. But that's what this place kind of reminded me of. They have a collection of stuff in there, and it's really good. The guy does a really good job. He is a showman and a half. Excellent place. I'm definitely going to be going back there. I hope I can actually do a video. I think he will. He'll let me do a video, so maybe I can get a video for you guys next time, and we'll check it out. Maybe that, hopefully, maybe it'll be a special video. So I got some stuff in the can, as they say, that I'd love to upload. I may, like I said, I may just break down here and just buy the router and modem without my discount and just start getting the internet going, because this is just silly. I know, it's just stupid. I just been putting it off mainly because I'm trying to figure out what company to go to for internet service out here. Trying to figure out which one's going to provide me, and trying to figure out which one that it's going to suit me well. Not overpaying for something I don't need. I don't want to. I just need the basics. I don't need. Every time I call these companies, it's like they always want to sell me all this other stuff, and I'm like, no. I just want to do that. You know, it's hard to explain to them what I'm trying to do. I don't know why. Okay. So, I brought out some movies here. Talk about that later. I brought out some movies here, and since it's October and Halloween's going around, and of course my favorite time, so I can't. I have a hard time not talking about this stuff. So there's some DVDs I picked up and a couple of books. Hey, it's not all movies. I do read. I love to read. So. This is a box set, actually. This movie's called House, and I think they actually made more of these. I think there's like 4. I could be wrong. I would love to see the other ones because... Now, House, I remember seeing this when I was younger in the video rental stores. Now, I'm not that old, but I go back to VHS days. Yeah, you know, so that's me. I mean, all the way back in VHS days. So I remember going to the video stores and renting videos and checking them out. And part of that fun was looking at all the horror movies. And the best part about the horror movies was they always sold you on the cover art. Something that I think is lost now. They don't really seem to understand that part anymore. I am so happy that I grew up. I think for me, my belief is I am the last tail end of my generation, I guess if you could say, that got to really still enjoy some of the values of the old stuff. And by that I mean like VHS stuff and getting to do certain things, and you know, even just I remember I watched wrestling a lot, and back when I was watching it, of course, it was like Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Warrior. It was called WWF, and now it's just like I don't know what it is now. But I just am glad that I'm kind of a part of that. Now, this is really neat because I remember this stuff, and I remember the cover. Look at that cover, and that's what I love when they include the old covers in these things. I bought the Phantasm box set on Blu-ray. I don't know how many people have seen Phantasm. Phantasm is awesome. I remember seeing that in the grocery store for rent and renting it. And I remember seeing the old skeleton zombie hand looking thing with like weird a worm coming out of it, and it's all like decayed and everything. Pushing the doorbell, and he used to say, I think, "Ding dong, you're dead" or something. That was the old VHS cover. And now there's something neat that this set was including is, like the Phantasm set, is you can turn the slip around. Now the slip has 2 different types of things. Now that's kind of like a throwback vintage cover right there. But that's the original. That's what I remember seeing. So I put that on there. I love how they offer you that choice. That's really neat. Now I'm still that guy that even though a lot of things are digital now, you can you can throw it on your smart TV or whatever. I'm still that guy that loves the physical media, the box, the cover art. It means a lot to me with that kind of stuff. So House 2 is kind of the same thing. Got the same hand pushing, or no, instead of pushing a doorbell now, he's got a key. It's called House 2, the second story. It gets weirder. Now House 2 is more like a comedy. They're both comedy, but House 2 is more silly in a sense. And now I thought they made like House 3 and whatnot, and also is included as a book. The book is really neat because it's a good 147 pages. It's full of a lot of screenshots and things of that. So if you're a really big fan of this, it's worth getting. I bought it off Amazon. I remember seeing it at the video store down here, but they wanted quite a bit for it, so I passed on it when I bought it on Amazon. I think a lot of us do that, right? Hey, I mean, I'm a firm believer in supporting your local places. Don't get me wrong. But I always check on Amazon or something like that, especially Amazon. I'm just like an Amazon junkie. But I always say this, okay, if the money I'm saving, if I were to go online and buy it, if I can save, if it's enough to buy me dinner, I'm going to go and save the money. I know. All right. But if it's just a few bucks, I mean, I always say $5. Okay. I'll pay $5. All right. I'll pay $5 more than what it is online. All right. But anything more than that, I'm going to go online. Because I believe, you know, if I can buy dinner with it, I'm just going to really, you know, and I'm not talking like a McDonald's dinner. I'm talking like, you know, 10, 13, 10, 15 bucks. You know, if you can go on, if you can save that, it's worth saving. Now, I mean, there's even gun shops out here. I will go and buy from them before I bought from a bigger corporation. I've mentioned this many times. There's places I like, and I will support them. And you know, another incident was, you know, I was getting price quoted from one gun shop that was more of a corporate thing, one price for the gun. I went to my favorite mom and pop shop, and they said, you know, we'll match the price of Bud's gun shop. How about that? And I said, that's even $100 cheaper than the big corp shop was offering, and here's mom and pop offering me that. You know, stuff. It's like, it's a no-brainer sometimes. Okay, Pumpkinhead. I bought this last night. I just bought this. Lance Henriksen, Pumpkinhead. This is a cool old movie. Of course, the cover is not the same. I remember the old original VHS cover. I would love if they brought that back, but this is what I mean. They just kind of do it differently. It's just generic to me. Just, I don't know. I love the cheesy old covers way better. Awesome movie though, still $4. I bought it. This is another one of those Halloween buys. I just had to get it. In fact, it's on the TV right now. I'm watching it right now, but I'm also with you guys. So, really awesome movie. You know, he goes Lance Henriksen, his son, gets ran over, killed in an accident. He's distraught, so he goes to see the lady in the woods. She's like a witch or something. She, you know, bring back, but in a pumpkin patch, but also spawns Pumpkinhead or something like that. I don't remember. I haven't seen it for a long time. That's why I'm watching it. So I could have got the whole plot wrong. I think he summons Pumpkinhead to get secret revenge. I think that's what it is. All right, one I bought a little while ago, The Hitcher. The Hitcher, Rutger Hauer. Rutger Hauer is an underrated actor, if you ask me. Rutger Hauer, C. Thomas Howell, and Jennifer Jason Leigh in one of her very early films. Jennifer Jason Leigh, a daughter of the late Vic Morrow. Of course, we all know what happened to Vic Morrow. Tragic accident, terrible stuff. I mean, you know. But anyhow, the Hitcher is an awesome movie. I don't even know if, like, yeah, it's a horror movie, but yet it's still, you know what? It's like a thriller. You know, it just really makes you wonder about picking up hitchhikers, doesn't it? But Rutger Hauer plays a great role in this. Awesome stuff. He says, what does he say? Do you have any idea how much blood jets out of a neck or something? He has a switchblade like that. Well, I think it's a stiletto. It comes straight out. But really neat. I looked those up, by the way. They're like $1,000 or something. Yeah. No, thank you. Okay. Another recent purchase was Poltergeist on Blu-ray. Poltergeist is one of my favorites. I had this on VHS years and years ago and watched the heck out of it. I love Poltergeist. This is one of the most awesome ghost, classic haunted house movie, period, is Poltergeist. That and Legend of Hell House. Legend of Hell House is awesome. Who's in that? Roddy McDowell, I think that's his name. The guy that's in Planet of the Apes. The one with Charlton Heston, okay? Not the one that they think is a whatever. We won't even get into that. Okay, Poltergeist, directed by the late, great Tobe Hooper, and Steven Spielberg production. Pretty cool stuff. Of course, the classic scene where he's in the mirror, his face is falling apart. Gotta love that stuff. Okay, another one is, I picked this up from a pawn shop. It's called Troll Hunter. I don't know how many of you heard of this or seen it. Troll Hunter. It's a foreign movie, so you gotta put on the English dub. I put on the English dub language. And a lot of times you always think, oh, English dub, that's got to be. A lot of times it is horrible, but they did a pretty good job with the English overdub with this. But I think it's like Norwegian or something, this movie, but awesome movie. It makes you go, how did they do that? Because it's pretty good. The graphics, everything in it, the effects, awesome stuff. Not bad at all. So I liked it. Troll Hunter. That's a I think a sleeper film. I think that's why I have to throw that one in there just in case you haven't seen it. So cutting down to it a little off the movie things, books wise, and this is a book. It's called Off Season by Jack Ketchum. Very very freaky, creepy, gory book. Books a lot of times can take it further than movies can. Jack Ketchum is definitely one of those authors that he takes it to the far edge. Let's put it that way. In fact, the little write up in the back, a question from an interviewer, I assume, to Stephen King, and they asked him, "Who's the scariest?" That's what it says on the back here. Who's the scariest guy in America? Was a question asked to Stephen King, and Stephen King said probably Jack Ketchum. Now, the master of horror, Stephen King, saying that is pretty interesting. And I read this book. It's kind of a this one's the hardcover. It's kind of a collector's item actually, but interesting movie or book. Seeing we're talking about so many movies. I think they made there's a sequel on that called Offspring, and I think they did a movie out of that. It wasn't very good. Okay, and I bought this too. This is The Evil Dead. I remember watching this on VHS. I rented it from a video store, and finally got to see it because I heard a lot about it when I rented it. So when I saw this on DVD, it's kind of a neat Ultimate Edition. It's a hard cover. It's got the original cover. That's what I liked about it. The original VHS cover that I remember seeing, which is the hand coming out of the ground, or the arm coming out of the ground, pulling the girl down. That's the original cover I remember seeing, so had to grab this. This is a total slapstick, cheesy, awesome DVD set. Of course, there's the cover of the VHS tape that I had gotten when I bought it on VHS. I was always upset that I didn't have that cover. But that's the cover I bought. It's got 3 discs. I guess it's got the widescreen, full screen, and some extra stuff. Kind of neat. Look at that. Stretches all the way out. It's got a really neat poster. The poster in it is of the that awesome image there of the girl getting dragged down. So really neat setup here. Bruce Campbell, really what kind of broke his career through was this movie. And speaking of Bruce Campbell, he wrote a book. He actually has a few books. This one's called Hail to the Chins. This is his latest book. And cool thing was I got to go out, meet him, and get it signed. So I got to meet Bruce Campbell, really awesome guy. He seems really down to earth, so that's really neat. And the way he is, like, he's really funny. A lot of times you can meet these celebrities, and it's like you go to meet them, and you're like, wow, that's really them. They're kind of fantastic. Not what you would expect, right? Because on camera they're one guy, and then when you meet them, it's like a whole other story. Okay, onward. Since this video talk is taking up so much of your time. Okay, Colt 22 revolver. Colt Official Police 22 revolver, 6 shots. That's what I loved about this thing. I had to have it. This is when I first started shooting, this is what I pretty much shot. Not the exact gun. I wish I did have that. But this is what I shot, was a 22 revolver. One was a Colt, one was a Smith & Wesson. I wound up buying a Colt because that's what I saw. I saw this at a pawn shop. I had to get it. It's in really good shape. All the finish is still there. And I really like the fact that it is 6 shots because I'm a traditionalist. I kind of I don't know. Yeah, they make those 9-shot, 10-shot, 8-shot. I don't know. But there's just something about having the traditional 6. And the cool thing about this gun is it's a full-size gun. This is like a full-size 38 special. It would be, but it's not. It's in 22 LR. So that's kind of neat. That it's kind of like a training gun, if you will. But it's definitely vintage 1959, I believe, is the serial number. Looked it up. But I was talking about some stuff that you want to look for, you know, when you're buying some used guns like this one. You know, just kind of going over what I do. You know, I saw the grips; they were original, and they were still in good shape. The checkering is still there; it's not all like worn off from being carried or whatnot. There's a little bit of holster wear in the tip, but very, very little, and not much on the cylinder. In fact, there's hardly a turn ring. In fact, I probably put a little bit more of a turn ring on it by shooting it because I shot it. I shot a little bit. Yes, it is something I would shoot. On something like this, I would check the firing pin, make sure that, because you know it is mounted, and I don't know if it were to break or get damaged. This one you may have trouble replacing it. You may have to just replace the whole hammer because I think it's part of it's machined into the hammer. Where some, like the Smiths and stuff, are actually pinned on. It's an extra piece. But really neat. It locks up good. Pull the hammer back and hold that trigger down, and it locks up still good. Really tight. You check that on all 6. And I always look for any kind of gouges on the lockups right here because you don't want to buy one that somebody probably spun that cylinder or slammed it shut. That's always it's just terrible to do. But really neat. One of the comments actually asked, "Hey, do one on the Python." Well, we have done a lot of videos on the whole Python. They're all over the channel, so please check that out. But anyway, last but not least, let's talk about this because this is really neat. Now we're doing some stuff. This is a movie breakaway bottle in glass. Look at this. Here's all the glass. Look at that. Now, if this was real glass, you wouldn't be able to do this. Okay. Really neat. Really cool stuff. Because this is a proper, like this is a plastic. It's a brittle plastic. Even with the sharp, jagged edges, it doesn't cut you. We were doing a skit with this, and so I salvaged a little bit of it because I thought it was super neat. So I picked it up. You can always use this stuff, even the broken pieces. You never know. So I kept it. It's kind of neat. These things are expensive, but I did this skit with old Santee, and Santee got the bottle over the head. Oh yeah, you got to check that out. I even got some extra footage on it. So, and of course, I got the bottle break footage that I shot, doing some extra stuff on my end. So you can check that out on the BATJAC J.W. radio show YouTube channel. That will be, hopefully I can get that posted up soon. If you're not seeing it by the time you see this, it will be up shortly, hopefully. So, but anyhow, and I also want to offer, if anybody wants, let me know in the comments. And if you do want it, let me know in the comments below there. Say, you know, this is the paper target that I shot with the 22 revolver right there. Just checking out the groupings on it, the bullseye, and then off to the side, just trying to see where the thing would print. But yeah, if this is something you want from the channel here for me, let me know in the comments. Just include the word target in your comment, and if we get more than one person that wants it, of course, next Saturday we'll do the drawing for this, and then whatever it is, your username or whatever, I'll sign and personalize the target to you, and I'll get it off to the mail for you. So a little quick giveaway. Not much. I don't even know if anybody would even want something like that, but it's something I want to give. It's from the BATJAC channel, and of course, you know, something that I wanted to do. I thought it would. I always liked when other channels did something like that, so I'm just trying to give it back to you. And speaking of all Halloween and everything, this one is for Scott F. Scott already knows why brought this out. This is the Freddy glove, Freddy Krueger. I'm a big fan of Freddy Krueger. Since it's Halloween, I brought it out. We got a couple of them. Here's another one. This one's got a little thicker blades, I think. Yeah. Check that out. Yeah, I made these. I got into making Freddy gloves. Those of you that have been following my my vlog channel, that's the BATJAC J.W. radio show, you've actually saw the journey of that throughout my vlogs. I want to get back into vlogging. I miss that myself. It makes me miss home in general. But yeah, I made these, and it was a lot of fun making them. I learned it completely by scratch, just figuring it out and cutting out templates and working with it. They're copper and everything, so been doing that. Always been a fan of it, and I just never liked what you saw in like the store, the basic stuff. And I ordered a couple models that were made by NECA, and they were kind of neat. I still have them. They're cool to have, but something to make and design and do your own. These are designed after the Part 4 movie where the finger stalls were flattened on the top and they had some miscellaneous soldering marks all over them that I don't know what it means, but that's just what it is in the movie. So, there you go. Some gloves that I made. We talked about a lot of stuff. Don't forget, if you do want the target, in the comment below, leave something with the target. Just put the word target in your comment, and I'll draw it if there's more than one. Like I said, I'll just draw your names out of a hat, and whoever wins, I'll sign it, personalize it to you, and get it off in the mail onward to you. So I appreciate it, you guys. I just wanted to give back a little something. I know it's not much, it's just a paper target, but it's something that I shot at the range. It's right here from the BATJAC J.W. channel, and just appreciation. I think a lot of you that watch this show and even here to the very end. I thank you, and I think obviously you're here, you enjoy this stuff, so that's why you're still here right now. So I figure I'd give something to you. So anyhow, have a safe weekend. Look at that, I took up half an hour of your time, and I appreciate it. You're right here with me, and that's really awesome. So thank you very much. So leave that comment right there. Target, you want a target, right?